Welcome back, O wise ones. Sagebook today brings you part 2 of 7 actors who will never be in a movie again, as there are some great actors who will never again delight us with their magic in front of the camera. Some by choice, and others due to various problems. Are you ready to meet them? Well, subscribe to the channel if you also want to be a wise one. And without further ado, let the show begin. Bruce Willis, this fantastic, bald singer and actor, is one of the most respected industry figures, with a career spanning more than 40 years. A career which includes authentic hits of the commercial history of cinema, such as Armageddon, The Die Hard Saga, Pulp Fiction, or The Mercenaries, to name but a few. But time goes by for everyone. And even for a rough, tough, burly guy like Bruce, it has been very difficult for him to record his last films because of a strange condition called aphasia. This language disorder was diagnosed in 2022, but he has been deteriorating very rapidly in recent months. Willis has had to work with an earpiece attached so that he can memorize phrases and speak them robotically, appearing only briefly on screen in order to act. He has only one movie left to be released, called Assassins. But he has found a solution to continue to be in our lives. Thanks to artificial intelligence, he was able to create a digital clone, with which we will see the legendary actor in many movies in the future. I, for one, can't wait to see him 20 years from now, when I'm lying on my couch and there's Bruce with the same energy that he had 30 years ago. Steve Martin. At 76 years old, this legendary actor of films like Father of the Bride, The Pink Panther, or Bowfinger is one of the best-known faces of comedies from the 80s and 90s. An actor who has been able to brilliantly portray roles, especially of a father or a grandfather concerned about his offspring. But although his best times are behind him, recently he has still been filming movies and series for Disney, such as the recent Only Murders in the Building, alongside Selena Gomez and Martin Short. He will continue to appear in this TV series and will even make theatre appearances alongside Short himself in the future. But Steve has already said that he will not participate in any more films. His projects include writing books and taking care of grandchildren. Age catches up with us all and makes it ever harder to think about staying at the top. But not all the actors in this top list are people who should be retired. Let's take our next character. Jack Gleeson, this 30-year-old Irish actor, had participated as a child actor in films such as Batman Begins and Shrooms. But he didn't become globally popular until he played the great Joffrey Baratheon in the series Game of Thrones. The actor was inspired by Joaquin Phoenix's legendary role as the Emperor in the movie Gladiator, and so he played a cruel, vicious, and ruthless character. He did so well. He was one of the main stars for 4 seasons, until his character passed away. Sadly, people who watched the series believed that Gleeson was just as cruel in real life, which of course he wasn't. Those people were not wise people like you, the ones who are watching this channel and are part of the wise Sagebook family. Because of these repeated misunderstandings, Jack fell into a state of depression and decided to retire from acting, appearing only in very small roles in recent years in relatively unknown TV series. It's such a pity, because this young man is undoubtedly very talented. Hopefully he will appear again in some show sometime soon. Bill Cosby. Now, for totally different reasons, the legendary comedian Bill Cosby has stopped filming movies. And it's not exactly because of his age of 85 years old. You see, Cos had a hard-working career as a soccer player, a singer, a songwriter, a voice actor, a writer, a screenwriter, a film and television producer, a film director, and an apprentice Pokemon master, yes. He was especially famous in the 1980s for his one-man show that filled the homes of hundreds of thousands of Americans. Oh, how they smiled. But sadly, Cosby was a monster, a 2-bit rapist who used his fame and popularity to abuse women and children for more than 50 years. This dirty criminal ended his career in 2018 when he was sentenced to prison, although now He's free, on the loose, albeit totally blind. Let's hope he at least hears our voice to remind him of what he is. A great actor with a rotten soul inside. Cosby, you suck. David Caruso. You may know this actor from his legendary role as crime investigator Horatio Kane in the series CSI Miami. He filmed more than 320 episodes, catching all kinds of criminals thanks to his wisdom and intelligence as he interpreted minuscule forensic evidence. In 2012, the CBS channel decided to cancel the production of the series, and since then, 11 years ago, he hasn't returned to record any series or film or commercial spots on TV. Many claim that he retired from acting because of the ridicule he received for his portrayal of Detective Kane. But the reality is quite different. Caruso made so much money during 10 years on CSI that he has enough to live comfortably for the rest of his life. And since he has no vices or any taste for luxury, he doesn't mind continuing to live off the income from reruns of old episodes all over the world. He probably earns more money than you just by sitting on his couch doing nothing, so it's normal that he doesn't want to go back to work. Amanda Bynes, this popular performer who triumphed as a teenager in movies like She's the Man, What a Girl Wants, or Easy A, was one of the most representative faces of the millennial generation 15 years ago. But just a few days ago, she was released from her umpteenth psychiatric rehabilitation clinic. No, it's not that Amanda Bynes is crazy. She's totally schizophrenic and has suffered numerous depressions due to the exploitation she suffered as a teenager at the hands of the big movie companies. This overwork ended up with Amanda totally hooked on marijuana and so many other recreational drugs, especially all those that have to do with the snow of the Rocky Mountains, friends, all of which definitely ended her film career. She suffers from a bipolar disorder that causes her sometimes to drive as if totally drunk, or to appear totally naked in the middle of the street, as in that iconic scene in which she showed her perfumed breasts in a soccer stadium. Poor Amanda. Look, we're here if you want to become one more sage in the family. Jack Nicholson. We couldn't leave without mentioning the legendary interpreter of films like The Shining, Batman, Mars Attacks, Anger Management, or Chinatown. For more than 50 years, the winner of 3 Academy Oscars has been entertaining us with his fantastic interpretations of a man who could try all kinds of substances during the era of peace and love, an era which brought him so much joy. Since 2010, he hasn't appeared in any film, and his last contact with cinema was at the 2013 Oscar Gala. His physical and especially mental problems ended his career, and his last public appearance dates back to 2021 when he appeared with his son watching a Los Angeles Lakers game at the Staples Center. Since then, he hasn't left the house, and has recently been photographed in his mansion on Mulholland Drive with a totally disheveled and hermit-like appearance, typical of a man who sadly suffers from a clear degenerative disease. We don't know if it's dementia. We don't know if it's Alzheimer's. But what we do know is that we are very, very sorry to see him in that state. But we will always have his movies. Friends, what is your favorite Jack Nicholson movie? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next show.